Hello everyone, my name is Ned Finn. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the stream. And welcome back to Anno 1800. A Ubisoft original. For what that's worth. Alright, we are going to jump back into our saved game with our dear fancy friend Foppington. Please pay no attention to the unmade bed in the background. It's fine, actually. Oh, I didn't rinse this out and I had water flavoring in it before. That simply will not stand. Folks, bear with me a second, because this is just gross. I'm back. What is up, Born Loser? What is up, Phantom Pain VR 12-0 or possibly 12-0? Maybe even 12/0 if we're feeling fancy. How's everyone doing on this fine, if somewhat rainy here, Sunday afternoon? Yeah, it's a little dreary here in good old North Carolina, but you know, we make do somehow, some way. Phantom Pain, have you been in these streams before? I feel like I don't recognize the username, but that could just be a failure on my end. Either way, welcome, welcome. We're playing more Anno 1800 today. I think I fired this up somewhat recently. I really like this chunk of town with the church in the middle. We've got a little bit of oh, what's up, Goose? How's it going, man? Yes. Ooh, got something going on with our expedition. The Amazons. The splendid warriors are all women exploring this deserted settlement, which appears to have been the scene of a revolt. Seemed a good opportunity for some looting, but your crew aren't the only ones to have had that idea. As they pass the barricades of barrels, tables, and chairs, they happen upon a group of warriors, with not a man among them. Indeed, the long-trousered women assume a defensive formation so fluently it is possible that they are more than human. Oh, hey, look at that! Our female midshipman, or midshipwoman, perhaps. Midship person, it's 2026. Can solve this perfectly. She fascinates the warriors almost as much as they fascinate her. Many stray into our territory, but rarely does a woman lead them, says the tallest of the goddesses. Neither she nor any others, blah, 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 blah. It is your belief they may stumble into this chaos from a distant or noble age. Okay, whatever. We got through it. We are in the midst of a... what kind of expedition is that? Archaeological expedition. For things to put into our museum complex over here. Your town is shaping up rather nicely. Is that a tunnel? Does that go all the way through? It sure does. Right there. It's an archway. Nifty spiffy. We can see the engineers are at work. Alrighty then. We got our zoo, which is also populated with the fruits of our expeditions. Are they supposed to be lined up, like, right directly across from each other? I feel like they ought to be. Even though they ain't. Actually, I don't think this is going to behoove us one way or the other. But... a speckled bear? Offers me a smuggling quest. There's a bear on the line? Absolutely. Slip past patrols to Archibald Blake's harbor and pick up discreet royal donation. Okay. What ships do I have available to me?
Celebrate your leadership.
I've got a schooner. I feel like a schooner should be relatively low profile.
Steersman.
I forgot you could buy boats from this dude. Oh well, makes no matter. Although I've got the largesse to do it now. It's almost $1.5 million buckaroonies. Oh, so that's the patrol we've got to avoid, presumably. Well, let's... Where is old Archibald at? In particular? Oh, and we've got a zoological expedition and a archaeological expedition. That's good to know. Look. Let's, like, dock, like, here. And then kind of figure our way out from there. Where is this thing at? Okay, cool. Because right now we're working on increasing the attractiveness of Fophaven. Just kind of our main spot here. It's got the largest population. It accounts for almost half of our total population, as a matter of fact. I'm honestly thinking,
Nice day for it.
how crazy would it be if I completely off-boarded some of this agricultural work? Like, a lot of this is already being done in Wee Fophaven over here. Another wheat field wouldn't, like, kill us. I mean, Pig Island also has near limitless tracts of land with which we might do whatever we want. I say near limitless. I've taken up quite an awful lot of the island at this point, but that's sort of the point of this particular settlement.
oarsman.
Okay. So now we know what we're after, which is, or what we're avoiding. Ship of the line, property of the enemy. This is presumably the patrol. What we ought to avoid should be relatively easy. This, it's worth mentioning, is like a prefabricated island. All relatively kind of bespoke assets here. But something like like this is all achievable in-game. They're already doing
I pride myself on what I've built.
freaking oil wells, which I have not quite indulged in yet. Well, that's very nicely laid out. But what Barrel O'Mara does not have is the higher classes of population. Neither artisans nor engineers does Barrel O'Merrill have.
New orders.
Okay. So now it's just a matter kind of waiting for home Broseph over here
We
to
assist
zip on by. And now we can do this. So, Born Loser, I know that you and I caught up a little bit. Is that a...
Couldn't have turned out any better.
It's a gosh darn peacock. Good heavens.
Aye.
Alright, where to now? Oh, back here. Oh, to
Coordinates plotted.
Barrel's ship. Oh, and look at that. The wind even favors us. Perfect.
Schooner reporting.
That better not frickin'... I guess that isn't really paying attention to us anymore, huh? Discreet royal donation. I know that you and I, Born Loser, caught up a little bit yesterday, but how goes it? I know that you've been on, in perhaps the most surprising thing in a very surprising year. Born Loser has taken a second crack at Skyrim. Wasn't on my 2026 bingo card, I can tell you that much. Whales. The whale's what I have in my zoo. No less. We're about to get another edition. Okay. La Manzanilla de la Muerte. Something, something, death. Calm the officer and steady his breathing. He's poisoned. Sweet taste. Rapidly flat. Blah, 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 blah. Just tired from Big Truck today. Like 50 hours into Skyrim. I think it's time for a break. Fair. Diplomacy? Suits everyone around him. Okay. Stomach pumping. Negligent falls short of describing your doctor. In an attempt to purge the poisonous fruit from the man's stomach, she pours seawater into the poor officer's mouth. Second salt touches his inflamed throat. The seawater heave and choke on his black airway. That is unfortunate. But we distribute schnapps and we keep on trucking. I'm gonna get some reading done, actually. Very nice, Born Loser. Anything in mind? I myself have been reading the second Witcher book, The Sword of Destiny, which, much like The Last Wish, which is the first Witcher book, is a short story collection. It's been quite good. I need to catch up on that reading probably today, honestly, if I'm to stay on pace. I'd really like to knock out a dozen books this year. I started very, very strong. I've just been distracted. But we'll get to doing what needs to be done. There we go.
Could learn a thing or two from you.
So now we've got more dosh and a bear. Yes. Surely we've got a bear. We've got a bear somewhere around here. So now, zoo. They're good. They're. I would describe them as good, pulpy fun. The Witcher books are. So now, excuse me, where's my bear? Also, I didn't realize that I could put the, I'll see. I think the horse is more used to us on expeditions, but I could have... Where is this bear that I have been promised? Is she going to, like, send a ship to me and then drop it off? Or I'm confused. Simply a little befoodled. Well, we might as well have something there. Boost our attractiveness ever so much, which... In reading the original Conan short stories, I remember you mentioning that. I know that that's inspired some of your recent Skyrim run. Once I'm done with The Sword of Destiny, I'm thinking of reading Dirk Gently's Holistic Detective Agency, which is a Douglas Adams joint. I actually read it many, many years ago. I think I was in, like, middle school, possibly. I don't even think I was early high school. I think that was just in middle school. So I know that there was stuff that I missed there. I remember liking it. I've always been of the opinion that Douglas Adams is almost unparalleled for just how funny he is on the page. Probably only rivaled by Terry Pratchett from the authors that I have read. But yeah, I'm gonna afford myself a reread there. Well, game, keep me posted as to whether or not this bear shows up. Let's go ahead and check on this worker shortage. Okay. We need obreros. What is the problem? It is because the obrero population is going down. Partially because we are running dangerously low on tortillas, presumably. And running low on plantains as well? Okay, so this is how we diagnose problems. We look at what we're low on and check our supply chain. So we've got no fried plantains, but we've also got no bananas, which tells me that we probably need to try addressing the banana problem first.
This one don't look too scary. Mine?
Which island are you after? This is the teeniest little spit of land. Willie, I could not care
Telling me whose islands to settle.
less whether or not... What are you going to do? You're going to build some bricks and you're going to grab some
Raised a settlement.
minerals, and that's freaking it. I have got such bigger fish to fry than you and your island of Dimwitch. Yeah, Willie, I'll give you a spoiler here. The Dimwitch horror here is you, my boy. No Whatley family required. Good heavens. Anyway, we've got lots of land to deal with, but let's go ahead and throw down another banana plantation here. How's that sound? That'll work. That'll do, pig. That'll do. Well, I'm always very interested in how to go about getting a perfectly square...
An apprentice.
an alliance? No.
Oh, come on.
Absolutely not. My frickin' alliance with Princess Ching is proving difficult enough as she is insisting on declaring war with pirates.
You cannot do my job with soft hands, let me tell you that.
Good for you, buddy boy. Speaking of which, let's go ahead and...
We'll top up the old sea chest.
A champion of civil rights? I hope so.
medium high. Okay, cool beans.
I've heard worse about me than that. If you do not fulfill our alliance,
See, this... I said that this would come up, and I'm cutting it off. As an ally of Princess Ching, you should join her in her war against Jean LaFortune. No.
Then we lose the bond of friend
That's
to friend.
that's fine. I am okay with that.
Fire has ended.
See? And she's ended her ceasefire, but my ceasefire with the man is perfectly intact. I think it's going to run out in about 6 minutes, but it's intact as of now, and there's going to be nothing from keeping me from re-implementing it later. So for a bit of context here, Born Loser, so the Anno series, as it turns out, is like quite storied, going back for quite some time. The one
All hands at the ready.
kind of thematic... The one kind of thematic through line has always been settling across a series of islands and like the logistics of moving resources between different islands, all that jazz. Anno 1800, given the fact that it's set in the midst of a kind of at least pseudo-historical Industrial Revolution, with that being the age of colonization, one of the aspects of the game is that you settle islands in both the the new world as well as the old, and there are certain resources such as bananas and corn and sugar cane and cotton that can only be grown in the new world that are needed in the old. There's also expeditions, like what you've been seeing me deal with. Oh gosh. Sunken depths. Unusual debris floats among the waves. Taking this action will be a gamble. Let's gamble it.
We masters of our craft.
Falls apart. Okay, well.
How many lives have we left?
Now, was that our... That was our archaeological expedition as well. That's unfortunate. He's hunting knowledge to get the better of the bears. Use camouflage.
There be monsters abroad.
The hunters lack guile. Okay. Outmaneuver the bears. Okay.
Winds in our sails.
See, for these expeditions, in theory, when successful, we'll bring back, in the case of the archaeological expedition, artifacts that we can put in the museum, and the zoological expedition will somewhat, understandably, bring back animals. Yeah, see, the plantain kitchen is missing bananas. Delicious bananas.
Storeroom's full, boss.
What do you mean the storeroom is full? Do they not have access to a frickin'... Hold on. The storeroom isn't full, you just don't have access to... Okay. We need to put down a frickin'... They can't even get out there. Ugh. This is proving to be a whole thing. Some of this can be solved rather directly. Okay.
Bury my desk.
Oh, that's a new expedition. We'll deal with that in a moment, Captain Hatman. So this is a valuable piece of context here, Born Leader, because Anno is doing something rather interesting with what is and is not abstracted. So something like, I mean, the kind of obvious example would be something like Dwarf Fortress, but you can also look at something like... Timberborn is a good example of this, where there's very low abstraction. You have, basically, like, every individual piece of resource is tracked and has to be moved, from where it is produced to where it is needed. And all of that has to happen more or less in a virtualized physical sense. Something like... City Skylines, there's a lot more abstraction. You don't really have, like, these very clear-cut production chains of materials. You are, in theory, producing, like, consumer goods in the industrial section of your city, in the industrial zones. That is sold in the commercial zones to people who live in the residential zones. Now, for City Skylines, it's all agent-based, so... Each individual member of the individual within the population has a specific place that they work, a specific place that they live, and they need to get to the commercial districts in order to, purchase goods. What's interesting in Anno is that some things are very abstracted and some things are very much not. There are very clear production chains. So, for instance, something like the tortilla requires beef to be produced at cattle farms, it requires corn to be grown on corn farms, and then it is brought to the tortilla maker to actually produce the good. Same thing with, what's another... I mean, fur coats is a good example where you need... cotton to be grown at a cotton plantation turned into cotton fabric at a mill, and you also need... hunting cabins to produce
Fire has ended.
furs, then that and the fur and the cotton fabric are produced into fur coats. These are all very clear-cut production chains. But, and this is a point that I've made every time that I've streamed it so far, eventually I will stop repeating myself. For the most part, Anno is not agent-based. All of these individual people, these are all set dressing. It's just to make your town look nice and lively. Resources do need to get to... they do need to be brought to a warehouse. A warehouse or directly to a building that requires it. But a warehouse in theory. But once something has been stored in a warehouse, it's accessible at any other warehouse. It enters into the warehouse network, and so bananas that are brought here to the dock warehouse will also be accessible at this plantain kitchen here, through this warehouse. It's also worth mentioning that the goods that are the finished goods that are consumed by not necessarily the residents, but the residences, are accessed through a market building like this. It's also worth mentioning because this is not agent-based, these are not actual people that live here, you can put jobs wherever you want them to be. You do not need to have specific, like, you can, set stuff up. Let's say you're wanting, there's gold. There's gold in Demvar Hills. Let's say we're doing this, this gold. As long as you've got a warehouse where the mined material can be stored, all of these houses can be over here, and that's not going to cause an issue here whatsoever because people aren't having to physically travel from home to their job site, because there aren't really individual people. The only kind of actual agents that you've got to deal with are the few... Let's see here. Are these carts, these resource carts, essentially, that are bringing from production buildings either to other production buildings or to warehouses. And that's it. Let's see how these expeditions are going. Nothing too bad. One Skull Zoological Expedition is very tempting, and we'll definitely handle that at some point. These public moorings are also very important because they represent another good money-making opportunity outside of taxation. See, look at that. We've solved the plantain problem, and now the Obrero population is starting to go up. That's another... It's another particularity to the Anno series and Anno 1800 in particular. Because I also picked this up yonks ago, Anno 2070, which is one of the earlier games. And that's kind of where I cut my teeth on some of the consistent Anno mechanics. Meant that I could basically completely overlook the tutorial and get by on Googling for this, which is much more how I would prefer to do things. I do not want to have to do like a long, drawn-out tutorial. I want to get my hands on stuff directly. See how this is doing. Apostasy. The crew needs some common ground. It is a fact that your crew were recruited regardless of their origins or belief, and your officers now wonder if this was a mistake. After weeks of lasting rainstorms, the more devout sailors raise their voices. The constant punishment is testimony to his obvious displeasure at the heresy on aboard. Something needs to bring the believers and apostates together before things get out of hand. Convince the zealots to be more tolerant using alcohol. The representative chooses her words carefully. We must believe so that we must triumph. God is a circle whose center is everywhere and circumference nowhere, quotes the former barrister, setting aside her own particular beliefs for the greater good. The crew listens intently and agree that the expedition will not benefit from skepticism towards matters of faith or indeed anything else. Cool. What's up, Michael? How's it going, my guy? I am pushing this poor expedition to its limits, but I want it. Ooh. The deeper you go. After I fall down a rock slide and I crashed into uncharted caves, your team of explorers jokes about the situation and attempt to forget its deathly aspect. The deeper you go, the shinier it gets. We will navigate. Obvious traps evaded. Well, we got the teensiest little edge. Find a way among the snakes. Are you kidding me? Ching now makes peace with Jean La Fortune. Fine. Okay. Provide extra rations and continue on. But yeah, so the residences that you plop down have requirements that they want to hit. So, for instance, your kind of base level here are the Jornaleros and the New World settlements. Who want market access, which is satisfied there. Fried plantains and ponchos, which we are actually lacking for, but it's basically fine. Why are my obreros going down now? Because the poncho thing. Now what's causing that, I wonder?
Ceasefire has ended.
Cotton we're good on. Felt? Okay. So this is kind of an opposite situation as with the plantains, because we've got enough we've got plenty of alpaca fur, or wool. We just need another poncho darner, apparently. Let me tell you, those darn ponchos. But yeah. So as your population, these residences, get their needs met, you'll be able to upgrade the homes. Oh, I gotta renew my frickin' ceasefire deals.
Has ended.
Ceasefire.
Their ghosts will take you.
Yep.
I also have my wife and children to think about.
Yep.
Call that a storm? Why, it was nothing at all. Because everyone knows pirates like doubloons.
How
Cool.
could I possibly refuse?
Cool. We're getting to where we need to with these two. I do not mind paying them off for the sake of peace. Anyway. As population needs are met, these residences are able to be upgraded. Upgraded residences mean more tax revenue, which is great. Now, in Anno 2070, by default, residences would upgrade automatically. Bing, bang, boom, no problem. Really, the only reason to not do that is if you have like a limited supply of those kind of higher tier desired resources. But in Anno 1800, there is a very interesting class aspect of it, where you need certain sorts of folks
True revolutionary.
to do certain jobs. So, hopping back over to the old world, and I really want to stabilize El Fapes, and we will work on that shortly. So, in El Fapes, you need farmers to harvest wheat, for instance, and to pound it into grain. So you need to maintain a certain number of farmer residences so that you have a population capable of doing the job necessary. From there, I think the baker is actually a... Where's a bakery?
It's a surprise
Yeah.
inspection.
Meanwhile, the bakery requires workers, so you have to have a certain number of these worker residences. And then you need to upgrade some of those into artisan residences. And then finally, or at least the highest level that we've gotten to on my end, are these residences, which are the engineer residences, which they have their own set of needs and desires, including... Oh man, including electricity, light bulbs, spectacles. Now, they won't even start requiring these things. Like, they're not even going to start demanding coffee until there are at least 1,000 engineers on the island. So that's not an immediate necessity just yet, but still. Anywho. I need to stop explaining the game, and I just need to play the freaking game. Where are we at in Alfapes? What is the problem with you people? Supply is improving on tortillas and ponchos. So maybe this is a self-solving problem. Ponchos is increasing. Plantains is slowly increasing. Tortillas not so much. But the tortilla thing is its own set of issues. Another cow farm? We've already got one. We've already got one cattle farm, but another can't possibly hurt. Clearly. And that requires jornaleros, not obreros, so...
You should go sit in the shade, boss.
Not my own workers telling me I need to touch grass. Or I need to get out of the sun, rather. Alright. Second cattle farm has got to help with the tortilla issue. And there is a small warehouse here. So... we got space to go in that direction. City Festival in Pig Island is ending soon. That's fine. Pig Island is its own separate ball of wax, so to speak. I kind of wonder what's like the best way to lay out a cattle farm. I almost wonder if it isn't like... well, that's clearly not it either. I don't know. Doesn't matter. I'm not maintaining a second one of these suckers for right now. Part of the problem... not even part of the problem. A big part of the problem is... that Alfapes is trying to provide tortillas to my entire New World operation here, which is understandable. Terra Hiccupus is here just for its cotton plantations. That's literally its principal purpose, is just producing cotton so that we can ship back to the old world islands. But... and, like, frickin' Gimme Some Sugar is in a similar situation where its whole raison d'etre is just the production of sugarcane. Which will eventually be brought back to the old world as rum. It's kind of neither here nor there for now. What do you people have a quest for me for?
There's only a few things I remember were better when I was young. Bring back the good old times, boss.
Oh, okay. Some of these random photo quests, which are, like, busy work, but, you know.
I'm feeling really proud.
Keeps the people happy. I think it improves Gives us some good newspaper coverage as well. I guess makes a certain amount of sense. It's funny. I think it's just the sheer amount of foliage that's having to be rendered, but the new world, or the old world, really does seem to be harder on my PC. I can hear its fans going a lot more clearly when,
We careen into the unknown.
Sunken Depths.
Be not afeard of splinters.
Ah! Fracadack. We had a decent chance of pulling that off. Gosh, both of our expeditions are doing so poorly now. My heavens. Okay. Another thing that we could really use over here is a couple of depots. Can we actually, do we have the resources for a depot? Oh, it's just lumber and... And again, the logistics are really abstracted here. So, like, we put these here, and storage across the entire island is improved. Storage capacity, I should say. Which, again, I ain't gonna complain about. Won't hear one complaint from me. Actually, because I don't have that many Obreros, I actually can't upgrade their next thing, I think. Which is kind of interesting. Sewing machines. God, producing sewing machines over here is going to suck. It'd be literally probably easier to just ship them over. But it's got to be for the felt production, right? Yeah. Alpaca wool into felt into hats. Highly consumable hats, apparently. I do feel like we are properly stabilized now. Part of the issue, though...
I knew this crew wouldn't let you down.
Oh, did we come back? Yes, expedition returns, baby. After weeks of trials and tribulations. Your expedition comes home safe. You found a radiant relic. The crew toast the success of your archaeological expedition. We now better understand what it is to be human. So we have cave paintings, part of the Origin of Mankind set. Have the Mazoan house. We've got the diamond, which really improves the... Now, it occurs to me that presumably... You could also purchase artifacts from, like, my buds over here, right? Oh, look, that's the Harbor Master's office. I didn't realize that you could build the Harbor Master's office just kind of off to the side. That's useful. That's a repair crane. Nifty. That's what? Sand factory? Yeah, sand mine. Produces sand to be turned into glass to be turned into windows.
Good to see you still got
Don't have any trade rights. That's right. Who do I have trade rights with? Is this Willie? Is it frickin' Willie? Ugh. Willie. Stupid yellow islands.
Only Wibblyists call me a soft target, and I've suffered enough Wibblyism about to it now.
Not Wibblyism, you poor bastard. Okay, we could bring some of this stuff. I don't know. Anywho. In any event. Ooh, wait a minute. So, select the old museo. And we build out space to hold our artifacts. Just mean we are right up against the frickin' zoo at this point, which I'm not an enormous fan of, and we will eventually want to, like, change that up. But not today. Not right now. So we establish the diamond. Throw down the cave painting. Oh, it's a big one, isn't it? That was carried on a boat. I'll leave the speculation of better men than I. And then this I will turn a boot face. And actually this should also probably be facing the other direction. Just from a logical standpoint, right? Now, what on earth is being held in the actual museum building is beyond my capacity to speculate. Goodness for that diamond. That diamond is one of the most attractive things on the entire frickin' island. You're a good boy, loser. I appreciate you stopping by and dealing with me rambling. Rambling and a warbling. Did we ever get that damn bear? The bear might have ended up on a different...
Has ended.
No. Occurs to me that the bear might have just been brought to a different frickin' island. No. Did we just not get the ding-dang bear? Because if so, disappointing.
Not too many changes, I hope.
Let us...
Some would call it misleading, but you know what's best.
Don't frickin'...
My mother is also inflexible if she senses rebellion.
Leave me alone, princess. Oh, gosh. Oh, no. Okay.
It's beastly, Admiral.
We actually... I don't think we regained morale there.
Put more skulls on the pile.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, it's nifty. It's a good one. It's neat. Should be facing the other way as well. Actually, should you? No, you were right the first time, Ned. Face him out that way.
He leered to one side and dropped his snuff all over the cobbles.
The Variety Theatre. Honestly, this does feel like it should be turned about face as well.
Then you'll agree to have your portrait.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that looks much better. And it's facing more towards town. I mean, this like, little square here is, like, just legitimately nice looking, and I'm a big fan. Curious Capital. Culture. I mean, our culture is doing quite well. We're almost completely shot of these uglier industries. If we can get this frickin' expedition to survive to come back in one piece, I think we're in a pretty good shape. Let's grab the snapping turtle for this zoological expedition. Assign the ship.
Ship shape.
Because morale is already... There we go. Presumably because it's come on the heels of a successful... Now that's an interesting question. Snapping turtle. Can we see, like, ship history? It's a good question. To which I do not have a particularly good answer, but... I mean, I'm all for it. Hunting. No hunting items, but surely we have hunting goods. Yeah. What do you mean there are currently no items? I promise you there are. Okay. That's, like, legitimately not the case. Okay.
Keep her constant.
Yeah, we got items aplenty here, my boys. So, like, I don't know what you're talking about. That's very strange. I'm gonna grab the coats. We're gonna grab rations. Now this, I'm very perplexed by this. Seems like legitimately a bug. Confirm. Fop Haven. That's so strange.
Make sail.
Whatever. Diplomacy. Navigation and... yeah. I mean, having a pilot and a midshipman seems like a really good... just wombo combo of dudes to have with us. The zoological thing seems important. Ooh. You know, we should have more frickin' fur coats. There we go. Extra diplomacy. Nothing for faith necessarily. But that's okay. Let's start the expedition. You've encountered something. Oh, good, you're back. Oh, thank goodness. Another orca. A sperm whale. Which is epic. An epic sperm whale. And now, mercifully, these things do, in fact... these things do, in fact, stack. So that's good. And look at that. A pleasant capital. Pleasant. Now we're getting somewhere. At 701.
Well, aren't you a curious little fellow?
God, that seems so small for a sperm whale. That seems miserable. Oh, man. And the ethics of this is a little sussy-wussy here. Oh, well. No matter. It's a little soosy-woosy. But never you mind.
How we've longed to get back to the blue.
You know what I think it is? You know what a big part of it is? Is just these lower tier missions, right? I think that's a big part of it. Now, what I don't want to do is engage in a pirate hunt, necessarily. Yeah, look at that. Good chunk of our balance is just from residents. Questionable ethical zoos. What's up, Deagle? How's it going, man? Leave me and my ethically questionable zoo alone. It seems like my marine animals in particular would be miserable, to say nothing of the horses. But it's made my town so attractive. It's downright pleasant, apparently. Next population is to get 3,000 engineers, which seems a little excessive. If I'm being totally honest. But, you know, reckon y'all know better than I do. Oh, hello.
Fancy making hay while the sun shines, master? I need help with me lowly troubles.
Near farmers' residences. Okay. On the other hand, you could just point me there, huh?
Sweet as honey.
Well, I see another number of stray animals. Chickens, roosters, all that jazz. But,
Take a nap in the orchard.
birds and cats in the same cage. Har, har, har. So the 1800s, we were still hammering out, society was still hammering out its conception of human rights, much less, much less animal rights.
More's the merrier.
Where's this stray dog supposed to be? Oh, well, if I find it, you know, cool, but otherwise, not too worried about it one way or the other. One way or t'other. That's not a dog, that's just a cow. Police station.
She's a fine ship.
Are these flowers specific to my flag color? If so, I don't hate that. Like they just have the name of the game just on their on their house.
These fabled lands exist after all.
Oh. The buckthorn? Yeah. Diplomacy likely. Are you gonna show me any items? No. Cool, 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 cool. Big fan of that, actually. Oh, and we... This is starting to annoy a little bit. Where's the buckthorn, anyway? Oh! The bear! Speckled bear, there we go.
Our way.
Where's the buckthorn? Oh, there it is. Okay, let's grab the mate? Diplomacy? I'll take that. Hell yeah. Okay. Crafting. Schnapps. Hunting. Cool. Start the expedition. Pop off, King.
Flagship awaiting instructions.
And now that we've located our bear.
With any menagerie, you get used to the rowdy ones.
Now we have our spectacled bear. Well, that doesn't seem right. This introverted bear reaches for fruits by building platforms made from twigs. Are they calling this bear a nerd? Because he's spectacled. If so, pretty funny. Objectively pretty funny. Alright, I reckon probably gonna make this just like a 90-minute stream. Probably call it a call it an evening in another 10 or so. These aren't chain link fences, Deagle. They're clearly ornamental wrought iron fences, which is different. For the taiga forest.
Did you see what it just did?
Cordillera. These guys are part of the taiga forest. Now we're shoring up the attractiveness of our city. It's worth mentioning that once... see here, production. Can I not see? There we go, happiness. 25.
Going on an adventure? Don't be scared if I wiggle you it.
Uh-huh, thank you, Willie. Bear's taller than the fence. Poor little standing up. Yeah, well. We've got the bear drunk on schnapps, so it's fine. Our fine potato schnapps. Let's see here. Workers are at 30 happiness. Artisans are at 24. We need to work on our engineer happiness so that we can get a festival thrown, which will really improve our tourism cash.
It's only a half-life.
Contented. Contented because they don't have freaking spectacles. Or rum. Or penny farthing bicycles. Apparently. Your people dislike the austerity of my city because they don't have rum. Okay. Same results. I think different results in fairness.
For assignment.
Okay. So let's go ahead. Do we have any more empty unclaimed schooners right now? The Delphus, which is a schooner. Going to go from... I was about to say, what island do we send them to? But it's definitely giving me some sugar. Well, hold on. Confirm. Because in theory, rum is already being produced in the old world. We just bring home the rum, right?
An explosion in one of your factories.
Oh, no.
A fire broke out.
Now, the question is, do we have... Yeah, we do. It's not terribly close by, but it's there. There we go. It'll be fine. What on earth exploded in the schnapps? Well, it's a bunch of alcohol, so a fire is going to cause some problems.
We will form an unbreakable magic circle.
No, Willie.
Flaming Carruthers.
We will not, as a matter of fact, form an unbreakable magic circle. Speaking of diplomacy.
Because everyone knows pirates like doubloons.
A good sport. I'm always that. Lucky for you. How could I possibly refuse?
Medium high? I'll take it.
Rah,
Ah.
rah, rah, you big toff. Take your society repartee and stick it up your blunderbuss.
Well, different alcohol production, in fairness, Deagle. This is a schnapps distillery. We're talking about,
The fire left ruins behind.
Yeah. In fairness, we are talking about rum here, which, again, is being produced somewhere. Can I actually check that production? El Fapes, which is producing rum. And they've clearly got a fair bit of the stuff built up. Who's producing? Is it actually give me some sugar?
Stand aside, boss.
It is. It most certainly is. Now the question...
We have the devil to pay.
The question here... Oh. The fugitive.
We know not peoples as you.
Point blank exchange. Disabling. Okay. I mean, we're starting off quite well, so like... You know. Hey, are we producing any wood here? Am I going... Give me some sugars producing rum. Yes? Yes, we've got a great big rum distillery there. Which means that we've got to be... We're producing lumber here as well. Lumber! Which is not being turned into boards or timber or whatever you call it. You're not producing bricks. We have bricks, but we are not producing them. But conceivably, we've got the resources to do a couple of depots. Yeah. And now suddenly, that plus a couple more distilleries. And suddenly we have a pretty serious operation on our hands to produce a pretty serious amount of rum. Rum which I don't think is going to be consumed by just anyone. So... Oh. You take out that little chunk there. And now... just build that out. Bing, bang, boom. And again, all they need to do is go to the warehouse, and they've got all the necessary material. Now, we've got some sort of a chartered route here, yeah? Yep. It's a rum route. 35. Which is fine. Will we have enough lumberjacks to... Well, here's what we're going to do. And I think just for the sake of simplicity... Well... No... Back to the old world. Grab the Delphus. Which again is an idle schooner. We'll go from... Give me some sugar, which should probably be turned into... Give me some rum. We will load up on 75. Let's call it 100. 100 units of rum. Completely fill our hull. And then we bring it to Fophaven. And we unload. We call it a day. And let's see how badly that goes for us. Now, in the meantime...
Take the rudder.
In the meantime, we should start working on spectacle production?
Bold new expedition.
I guess? No. Absolutely not. Whereas workers... We have sand. We have plenty of sand. Do we have zinc deposits on the island? We do, as a matter of fact. Somewhere. There we go. That's the zinc. Okay. Copper, which we do not have deposits of on the island, but we do on Pig Island, which is kind of perfect. A brass smeltery and a glassmaker, which we already have on Fophaven. So actually, is just this. And honestly, if we are going to be chartering a ship, or we're going to be like, let's build a schooner. Where are you?
Stations.
That's a gunboat. The Franklin. gonna build a schooner.
Stations.
Now here's an interesting thing. Well, now that's an interesting...
Think independently.
Well, now there's a thing that we could do, huh? Kind of build out this depot area, huh? And honestly, why not? Hey! Honestly, this isn't even... We don't even need boat clearance, because these are... It's just for the sand mine anyway. So we might as well. And we'll go ahead and do that. Yeah. Ah, lovely. Flippin' lovely. Ah. We love to see it. We bloody love to see it. Alright. Honestly, I think... There we go. Yeah, widen it a little bit. Take this road, my boy. Let it widen you. Alright. Yeah. Works for me.
We careen into the unknown.
Dare we? Oh, I think we dare. Alright, let's see how this is going. Deeper you go. 60% chance of success. Yeah. Another chasm.
Blew up the blowhole.
Ward discovered. Hell yeah! More Aureus coins.
Ship disrupted.
Ooh. Never mind. Oh, that's disappointing. Oh, that's...
Born by the waves, die by the waves.
That's miserably disappointing. Oh well. It kind of is what it is. No doubloons for Ned, apparently. But that's okay. We're going to come back with... with aminals. Museum complex is already getting a little unwieldy anyway. We're going to have to do something about all this. But we will have to do something about all this at another time, because this is going to kind of... Look at that big old tourism boat.
Admiral,
Big old ferry. Navigation,
are we
yes.
masters of our craft?
Look at that. And that's because our frickin' town is so attractive. You see. Hey, did we build a schooner yet? We sure did. The Industrious. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to set up just a little bit before the day's out. Is there zinc here? There most certainly is not. Copper, though. I'll take copper, because copper we don't have on Fophaven. So... now... a brass smeltery. Now, this is interesting. Because what we should probably do here... actually... is set that here. Ferry zinc to Pig Island. And then ferry smelted brass back to Fophaven. To be combined with glass for spectacles. Now, all of this is going to require concrete production, which is its own separate ball of wax. It also requires windows, which I have not the will, desire, or capacity. Hold on. The concrete factory requires these people. There's one on the island. Which tells me you might actually want to do a commuter pier. So we can send engineers to Pig Island. Rather than having to ship limestone to Fophaven. Let's see what this ends up looking like.
Alas, my bowels churn afresh, and I must beg your expertise.
Okay. Huh. Okay, so... We can do that here. And then the commuter pier... Still not enough. Gosh, darn... Sir Archibald, leave me alone. Literally did not even know what the quest was. Could have been something really good. There's no way of knowing. Ugh. So, there's nothing preventing us from putting this frickin' commuter pier. Okay, how's our fish looking? Good, but the accumulation the accumulation is not as high as I would have expected. Right? You're gonna go back over here. Okay, plain and simple. That's not up for debate. I think I think I'm going to do something radical. I think oh, gosh. Oh, hello, Skybox. Literally my first time seeing you, but, you know. Lovely to make your acquaintance, Mr. Skybox. Okay, so here's a question for you. There's no reason... There's nothing stopping me from putting the commuter pier over here. That's not going to affect anything because logistics are made up and the universe is a hologram. Buy gold, buy. However... it'll look bad. So in theory and instead... Okay, let me check something here.
Look sharp, the governor's here.
Shush. Do I have a union hall? On this bleeding island? Is there a point to having a union hall on this bleeding island? Is that part of the harbor? No.
Please don't leave your crate unattended, sir.
Can I actually move that, like, over here? I sure can. Hold on.
Oh dear, dear, dear.
Okay, whatever. Okay. But this is something that wasn't here. So that's good.
Assuredly, she's a fine ship.
Yeah. I mean, I like this little area that I've kind of built out for myself here. Yep. Okay.
Perils await us.
That's the town hall, which we do not have any of on the island. Now, it does feel like the town hall should be somewhere a little bit more central, but it also doesn't really matter. So it's going to be right there. Town hall. Bing, bang, boom. What can I equip here? Literally fireworks. I have no need of you. As it turns out.
So good to see you, Uncle.
I type. Armor master. There we go. The trade union. Where does that live? Where does the trade union building live? Here. There we go. Okay. What am I putting here again? It's the bakery. Productivity. Yo, Iron Founder needs to be on Pig Island like yesterday.
We careen into the unknown.
I literally do not remember what the point of building that was. Oy, oy, oy. Okay. Puncture an airway. Cool beans. Rations and continue. I think the commuter pier is probably a good idea. We're going to move our fisheries here. I think we can, like, sneak one more over here. I think that's what I was looking for, is something to improve the, like, raw efficiency of the fisheries. Hold on. Oh, I could build... I could just... It ain't gonna be pretty, but as it turns out, it doesn't have to be. Cool. Alright, later, skaters. Boom, boom. You, actually, can live over here now. And you, honestly, you can live over here. In the slightly more industrial part of the harbor. Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Your city has grown more beautiful.
Reached a new attractiveness level? Which city? Fophaven. Really? Why?
I'm glad. At least it's not any busier.
A little bit of a mystery to me, but whatever. Well, actually, let's see what the commuter pier ends up looking like, huh? Because I do think that that is going to be our next thing to do here. Oh, okay. So it's like a pier. This kind of looks like a pier. We're going to get rid of this, as it turns out. We can just move this over here. What does this require? It requires concrete. Immensely frustrating. And also, absolutely something that we will be solving on a later stream or during personal time with this game, because no. Actually, upon careful consideration, no. Free coast.
I have to trust my instincts where you're concerned.
Sure, sure. One per island, which makes sense. Actually, I quite like that. Yeah, because they, like, undock now, right? Where they're supposed to. Uh-huh. Cool. Okay. We got a bit of clear coastline, which is nice. Which conceivably we could decorate with, like, these things. Oh well. Something to consider later. But that is going to, in fact, do it for me. I've ended up streaming like a full 15 minutes longer than I had intended to. So, folks, thank you all very much for watching. I am Ned Finn, and until next time, goodbye forever.